Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Davina. Here I make lifestyle videos. Basically, I'm a Christian, so you'll see Christian based topics, and you'll also see car vlogs. You'll see DoorDash, Instacart, and now I'm going to be doing Postmates in a few weeks. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it or not. I'll give it a shot. Somebody recommended it to me. And also I also do here and there some hacks and how-to videos, like basically my copy and paste Chromebook. How to copy and paste on the Chromebook is doing very well, so I do a little help videos here and there. But I just wanted to give you guys an update. So yesterday I went to the car wash. I did record an intro about me going to the car wash, but I was recording, but it didn't record basically. So I was talking to my camera, and then when I looked to find the video, it didn't record. So it only shows the footage of my car going through the car wash. And that was my first time going to the car wash since I had my car, and my first time ever going to the car wash with my own vehicle, because this is my first vehicle. So I definitely wanted to record that, but it just sucks that the intro didn't come. I just wanted to let you guys know about some things that I've been going through. Like, it's been pretty tough for me. Like, so many amazing things have been happening, but then on the flip side, I've been going through like a lot. So it feels like every time I get a step forward, something tries to knock me down. And then one day I was just reminded by Job, and I felt like this was the voice of God, you know. And God said, I want you to read Job. And of course I already read, not of course, but I have already read Job before, but sometimes you have to reread stuff. You might miss things, and just to be reminded. So yeah, I remember the basic plot of Job. You know, basically he was a man that from what I remember before I started reading again, I remembered that he was a good man, and that he had a lot of things. I remember that he had a lot of possessions, and that God allowed it to be taken away from him. He lost everything basically, and then he was blessed. So when God said that, I was like, God, I don't want to be like Job. And then it came to me, and I feel like this was the voice of God as well, responding back to my thought. Don't forget that Job also had a double blessing. So I don't know what's going on right now, but I know I've been going through a lot. And then I have another life update just about how it's been in New Jersey from when I first came here to now. But basically I have achieved a lot. You guys know, or if you have watched my other video about me, I finally have my driver's license. I didn't get my driver's license until I was 28 years old. I'm currently 28. Many people get their driver's license at 18, and the latest for most people is like 21. And I know there's other people that never have attained their driver's license, or they still haven't had it, and they're my age or older. Somebody that was watching one of my videos, I'm not sure if they're a subscriber or not, but he was saying that his mom has never got her license, and she's, I think, in her 70s. So it's just a blessing to have it, and it's definitely an option. It's not a necessity. It may seem like it's a necessity because we need to get around, but there's other ways to get around, and everybody doesn't have a desire to drive. But I did. I had just put it off for so many years because I thought like things wouldn't go well. So I finally achieved that milestone, if that's the proper way to say it. Like, I finally had passed that. I achieved my license, and now I'm like a driver, and I've been doing pretty good. I had a little mishaps, and I'm still learning on being a really good driver. I'm a pretty good driver, but you can always learn something. It's been less than a year since I've been driving by myself. It's only been a few months, but it's just been like so many things have been hitting me lately from the past few months. Like since I got my vehicle and I have everything right, I've been getting tickets. Like, of course, a few of the times were my fault, for leaving my vehicle by a meter for too long, so I got a ticket. I understand that. Then I paid off the the 2 tickets or whatever that I had from parking, the tickets that I had from parking, I paid those off. I'm like, hey, no more tickets. I'm not going to park in these areas. And if I do decide to park by meter, I'm not going to stay at that meter for more than 2 hours. So I did that. No tickets. I'm happy. I'm riding down the street to work on a Saturday, not speeding, not doing anything illegal, driving, and then I hear a police car behind me. So I keep on hearing, I'm like, I know they're not telling me to pull over. So I keep on looking up in my rear view, this mirror right here, to look behind me, and the police is using the sirens, and then he starts pointing for me to pull over to the side. So I'll pull over to the side. I'm like, Lord, what's going on? I know I wasn't speeding. I didn't run any red lights. I didn't do anything illegal. What could it be? So he takes like 5 minutes to even get out the car. I thought that he was waiting for another officer to go approach me or something. But it turns out that he was just the only one in the vehicle and just sitting there. It didn't even look like he was on like a pad, like using a notepad or a tablet or anything to record anything or to like write, get prepared. He was just sitting there. So I'm like, why is he just sitting there having me sit here? And he was a little bit older. I can't tell how old he was, but he was at least in his late 50s, in my opinion, from how he looked. And this is not in like an area where I would expect to get a ticket, like in like, a more suburban area. This is like not far from where I live and not far from where I work. Basically, I was in Newark, New Jersey, on Springfield Avenue, going to work. And yeah, he pulled me over, so I was surprised. And then I'm like, so what could it be? So I'm anxiously waiting to see what he's going to say. And I'm also a little bit nervous. I never expected to get pulled over. I thought about my dad would probably never get pulled over, at least not for years. So all this, just in a few months of me getting my license, different things have been happening. And stuff that happened before this happened. But yeah, so he comes to my window. I rolled down my window, and I was going to say, hey, is everything okay? But he starts talking first, and he's like, so I pulled you over because you don't have any front plates. So I had my front plates in my front window, to display it until I was able to get some screws. I just recently got my permanent plates before I had my temp plates. And even when I had my temp plates, I didn't have front plates for that. As far as, I didn't have any front plates for my temps. It was only the back. And then once I got my permanent plates, I had, they gave me 2, but I didn't have any screws for the front. So it was only about 2 weeks since I had my permanent plates. I should have, yes, it's true that I should have had had it up there. But, I didn't expect to get pulled over for that. And he had my information, my registration, insurance, and license, and he should see that I just recently got them. But yeah, so he's like, yeah. I pointed. He's like, yeah. Well, that's not the front. It has to be. He didn't say it has to be on the outside until he came back. So that's not the front. Can you give me your information? So I give him my stuff. He goes back to the car, and then in a few minutes, this time it doesn't take that long, comes back and gives me back my stuff, and then he says, don't worry, you don't have any points or anything. So I'm like, okay, you have a summons. So I look, and in the paper, basically it's a ticket. So I can fight it if I want to. I'm thinking about doing it. I'm going to look at it once more to fully read everything that's on there, and I might fight it because I feel like this should just be a warning, even though, like, of course, you really are supposed to have it on the outside, but he sees that I just had my permanent plates. It's not like I had it for like months or a year or something and been driving like that. He should have just let me get a warning, and if I have it again like that the next day and he sees me, give me a ticket, instead of as soon as he sees me, just having my plates right there. And I think he didn't even notice I had the front plates. And then he just felt like he just wanted to keep on going on for pulling me over. And that's why he gave me a ticket. So yeah, the other tickets were less money. This one was more money than the tickets that I had previously. A few, almost $10 more. Only $1 short of $10 more. So it was $9 more than the other tickets. So I'm like, God, I'm trying to move forward. Like, I'm doing things, trying to pay off debt, trying to pay all my bills on time. I've been paying my bills on time, and then all the stuff coming on me. I've been having less clients in the shop per week. luckily I have DoorDash and Instacart. I've been doing that to have extra income, but I hope that things start to pick up so I could be able to do it less. It just be more of an option more than me having to do it. And then one time I was driving around with my brother. I'm not going to get into the full details. That's a little bit personal, but basically while we were in the car together, we got into an argument, and then I was looking for a house, looking for a specific house, and while I'm driving down, and then I guess I glanced too long, and I never had crashed my car. I glanced too long, agitated, angry, and then I'm glancing over, and he's on the passenger side. I'm driving, and next thing I know, I didn't even feel it at first. I'm riding on the sidewalk. Well, not all the way on the sidewalk, but my wheel to the far right is going against the ridge part of the sidewalk. And then my tire, it basically deflates. And then it just was a hot mess. So I had to get, I had a spare tire. I used that, and then I went to go get a new tire. Basically, it was a used tire, but I had to get a replacement, basically. And I still have my spare tire. So it's just like the enemy has been like fighting me, while I'm getting blessings, but I'm also getting defeated, so I can feel like giving up. Once that happened with the brother situation, I really did feel like giving up. Like, I was like, you know what, I don't want a car. Y'all can have my car. I don't need one, because I felt like this previously, like, okay, I'm not going to be able to enjoy my car because something bad is going to happen. And then I start having more of a positive mindset, and then that stuff starts to remind me, and feeling like people just want to have, feel like people just want to take advantage of me. And sometimes they do. Or, feel like I can't have everything that I want and desire and I deserve. And I know that materialistic things are important. Like, they're not super important. But it is some things that I do deserve to have, and I shouldn't feel like I don't deserve them. So the tickets, and then that ticket, I felt like I definitely didn't deserve it. Like, that should have been a warning, in my opinion. If you guys think that I should have gotten the ticket, or like, Davina, you wildin', let me know, because sometimes we can wild. And then the minor accident, and then the ticket's the minor accident. I had scraped the side of my vehicle, and I have a dent on it, and I even had a scratch. Luckily, I was able to get the scratch off. And then I'm going through things at the salon that I work at. Like, I didn't tell most people. Sorry if anybody from my salon is watching this, but, I feel like people have been acting differently towards me. They're not everybody. I feel like it's one person that's still like themselves, but somebody else, they have been acting differently, and I can pick up on that. I have discernment. And I'm also prophetic, so even if somebody doesn't say that or don't do it outwardly, I'll still know. I don't know everything. I can't see every single thing, but yeah. So going through with that, I feel like I'm not being treated as fair as I should on certain levels, and then feeling like people are taking things from me as well. I'm not even going to get into all of that. But yeah, things have been happening at the salon that I work at too. Not like people trying to do anything bad to me, but from a few things that I've seen, it's not what I've seen from the beginning. And it's just been a lot. And then for my life update, as you guys seen, that I progressed a lot. Like, I came here with no job. I did have a job lined up working at a temp agency, then got another job at basically like a warehouse job. I was working there, wasn't ready to give it up because I wanted to make sure that I was working that job for months. I did like it at first, but I was just relying on it too much, like feeling like I need to keep it because I need to have guaranteed money every week. When you do hair, you're a cosmetologist, it's not guaranteed that you are going to make money every week or the same amount of money, unless you work for like a place like Supercuts, then you'll get paid, but it's not that much, and that's not the kind of place I want to work at, to be honest. I don't really enjoy doing lots of haircuts. So I stayed at that job longer than I should have. Then once I went to Pinky Promise, I came back and decided to not go back to that job and just to be full-time hairstylist again. So that was like one of the best decisions I had made at that job. I was waiting for a promotion. I never received a promotion. I received a slight promotion, like I had a different job title, but I did not get up in my pay. Like, I did not get promotion as far as pay. And I was waiting for that, and it never came. And once I came back, I decided to never come back. Plus, it was so cold in that place, and I don't do good in the cold. Like, I hate being cold. So yeah, that was one of the best decisions that I made. And then once I became a full-time stylist, I decided to go with the salon that I'm at right now. Everything seemed pretty cool. Then I was making pretty good money. Like, my money was going up. You know, so I was pretty happy that I was making better money as well. Like, yeah, it was good. And of course, you have down days. So then now it's been pretty down for me as far as hairstyling. Like, I don't make as much money, but sometimes you can make a lot of money anyway. So yeah, that's what happened. So now I'm back at being a full-time hairstylist. I achieved my license the first time that I had my road test, and then shortly after, I achieved my vehicle that I have now, and it's in my name. I don't have to make any payments. I pay all my bills on time. God has been providing for me where I don't have to. It might seem like the week of, I may have something really important to do and something is due, and I don't know where this money is going to come from. But by the end of that week, when the things are due, or it may be like a day after, I have the money that I need to pay. So all my needs have been taken care of since I've been here. So I'm thankful for that. But sometimes it can be scary and tricky. Yeah, I feel like I've been going through like a lot of good things have been happening, like I said, but I also been going through a lot, and I feel like I've been going through a little bit of jealousy from people, some people, not everybody, and I don't even like to throw the jealousy finger. You know, that's the last thing that I'll do, and I actually hate jealousy. I don't like to make people jealous of me. I never try to do that. It's been times that I even had didn't even shine myself like how I should, because I don't want somebody to be jealous of me. I hate that feeling. But I have experienced it a little bit here and there. In my opinion, from what I see and what I feel, I know I can feel when somebody is getting like that, and I hate that feeling. And what else? Also, like, it's been so, like, I have, you guys already, well, if you watch my other videos, if you haven't watched it, you can check out my celibacy video. I have decided to be abstinent for, I made this decision over 3 years ago, so I'm still on that journey, trying to keep myself, I'm not perfect. And it just seems like so many men, I always had this, like, since I was a little girl, the opposite sex has always been attracted to me. Of course, that's normal, but it's like I get more. Well, a lot of times I could get more than like the average that might sound kind of conceited, but I'm not trying to be. But yeah, that has been a thing for me. It's always been guys trying to talk to me, and now, of course, you don't have to have sex with the people that you're talking to, or you could date people if you want. But I have decided to not date multiple people and just continue to wait for my future spouse. It's been pretty hard, to be honest. I've been getting, like, I did talk to one person not so long ago, but that stopped. That wasn't nowhere near God, and I knew it. But yeah, I decided, yeah. So many guys, when I was working at that job, so many guys were hitting on me every single day, and having to constantly say no to people or to men, it was hard. Some people are just easy to say no to. Well, it's not easy, but it's not like I want to say yes anyway because they weren't attractive to me. But then it's some people that are, or some men that are attractive, and then to have to keep on saying no from my standpoint, everybody has their own journey. But for me having to constantly, I know that I need to say no. I'm constantly having to say no so many times. It's very hard. So people, they might say, well, yeah, Davina, you need to be like this. Don't date no men right now, or don't do this. But when you're constantly faced with that, it's very hard. So some people might have the average encounters, like, hey, here and there, some people try to talk to me. But imagine almost every day somebody's trying to hit on you, and multiple times per day. I even had to stop, and sometime I decided to not even wear some of the stuff that I was wearing. Not that I dressed super sexy, I wasn't, but some stuff. I'm a slim woman, and there's people that have way more body than me, but I do have some curves. Like, I have hips, And so I have like a little silhouette. In my opinion, some people's opinions, they could see like that little kind of hourglass shape. I don't have boobs really, but I do have some hips or whatever. And then when I gain weight, my booty gets bigger. Like I have like the lower bottom basically, and you'll see it more once I gain weight. But yeah, I decided to not wear one item that I was wearing to work. It was black. We have to wear black to work because one day I had got so much attention while I was wearing that dress, and a guy, he literally came, he was driving down the street, he came back around just so he could talk to me and ask me out, and I said no. He, he did some flirtatious stuff like, hey, I came all the way back down here just to talk to you and get your number. Can I have your number? Can we go out to lunch or dinner? And I was like, no. And this was before I had my vehicle. I was taking the bus. So I never wore that dress again after that. For most people that might be flattering and you might like the attention. I did used to like that type of attention when I was a little bit younger, to be honest. Not like I wanted to get it all the time or I seeked it, but if I would get like a compliment from a guy or different guys trying to talk to me, it did feel pretty good. But now I'm at a different point. I already had all that attention and I want different attention, and I would love to be with my future spouse and not having to keep on going in and out of relationships or situationships. I'm not trying to do that. So like, I don't care about all the attention. Sometimes, you do. And sometimes I might feel a little bit lonely. Like, oh man, I wish I had, I wish I was in a relationship so we could go out to dinner, hang out, stuff like that. Like fleshly things, or just regular things. It don't have to be sex, but just like things that don't even, that's not just regular people things. And then, of course, I would like to be able to have somebody like, that God has ordained for us to achieve a mission. We're praying together. We're achieving different goals together, regular and spiritually, we're building each other up. But, then too, like my regular human being self, sometimes I wish that I had, just somebody to like be with sometimes, I do have one friend that's a male that we're not dating or anything at all. And then that could be tough because people just automatically think since that person is opposite sex that you're dating that person or you're messing around, and that's not the case. And just trying to keep it that way too because we are the opposite sex. But I do desire more in-person female friends. I don't have that at all. And it's hard because like all the females that I've been encountering, if I get along with them, then they're not like at my level of like wanting to serve God. Like they believe in God. They may be a Christian, but they still, want to party or drink or curse and stuff like that. And I'm past that, I don't want to do those things. Not that I'm perfect or anything, but I just don't have the desire to do those things. And if I catch myself trying to be that way, then I have to ask God for forgiveness. It was a time where I got mad. I had said a curse, but I asked God to forgive me. And I don't have a desire. Like if it's like a special occasion, like a wedding, something, I might have like a glass of wine, but I'm not drinking alcohol. I never had a desire to smoke. I smoked hookah before, but I don't do that anymore. I don't smoke weed. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke cigarettes or Black and Milds or anything like that. So it's like hard to find somebody that has the same goals. Not that they have to be just like me, but somebody that I feel like equally yoked with as a female friend and just a friend in general too. But me and my friend that's a guy that we're not seeing each other in, a romantic type of way at all. We never cross those boundaries, never kiss each other, anything like that. And I'm trying to keep it that way. Just praying to God about the situation. If I should keep this friendship. But yeah, I really do see him as a friend. We could talk to each other about things. Some things I do keep to myself for my reasons, but I don't know, I'm really pouring out to you guys. So yeah, I have the thing that I have been facing a lot since I came here was like just a whole bunch of men trying to come at me and me just having to constantly say no. It was really hard. And but overall, since I moved here, everything's been good, but it hasn't been like, oh my God, like crazy things still happen. And sometimes, like, it was the time one time I felt to myself like, man, God, you call me down here, but I'm going through this. So God could call you to something or to a place and you'll still be going through something, or he'll let you go through some tests that you weren't going through back there, or you have to go through it. It's not because you were wrong, you were right, but guess what? He still wants to put you through some tests, and he wants you to overcome them, to take you even to the next level. And yeah, but overall I have been blessed. And I want to talk about Job. So I started reading Job again, and it talks about Job being an upright man and being blameless. So blameless is basically nobody can point the finger at you. Nobody can say that you did that wrong. So I don't know if I could say perfect, because Jesus was the only perfect human being, but he didn't do anything wrong. Like he didn't mistreat people. He was kind to people. He interceded for his family, his children. He would get up and pray for them and ask for forgiveness for their sins, because they may have sinned the previous day, or a few, I'm just saying the previous day. He wanted to help out people. So when the devil was looking here and there from the earth to find somebody, God said, hey, would you consider my servant Job? He described Job to the devil, and God allowed him to put him through a test, like to attack him basically, but God didn't allow him to take his life. He said, hey, you do this, but don't touch him. And then the second time, you could do this, but don't take his life. So the first time his children were killed, or his children had died. All his animals and crops that he had were gone. He had lost everything. But his wife said, just curse God. You're going through all this. Basically, if I put it in today's terms, God let you go through this, man. You still want to serve him? Forget about God. Bump him. That's something that's like more current, but she said curse God. And he said, no, I'm not going to curse God. Just God blesses you with all this, and then you go through a little something, and then you want to curse God. Then I'm not sure if it was the next day. I'm still reading it. But then afterwards, the devil had came back to God, and God allowed the devil to plague him with swords from his head to his toes, or from the toes to the head, however you want to put it, all over his body from head to toe. And then he started to get worried and sad and hurt, and he felt like he was going through the worst, because he had lost his children, all his children that he had. He had 10 children, 7 boys and 3 girls, if I'm not mistaken. All of his possessions that he had. And then now he's going through a disease, like a plague on him, on his physical body, and it's painful, and it's all over him. And then he ends up seeing his friends. I believe it was 3 of them, and they're like, they can't even recognize him, and they're like wondering what's going on. And then he tears his clothes and he curses God then. And then his friends do start to encourage him and try to get him to, see the bigger picture, basically, from what I read and the way that they say it. In those terms, I read the NIV version. And basically, Job, he eventually get back to himself. And I haven't gotten to the point where he does get his blessing, but I know at the end, he does have a double blessing. He does have more children, and he gets all his blessings. I'll share that with you guys later because I have to finish reading it, because I won't say anything wrong. I haven't gotten to that point once God blesses him again, but he does come to his senses after a while, and he gets back to himself, and then God blesses him. I might just add it right here, like in writing. But I have to finish reading it today, because I didn't read it all in one day. But yeah, and of course, no one doesn't really want to go through a lot. I'm like, God, I don't want to lose everything, and I haven't been losing everything, but I have felt like Job in a way, like just a whole bunch of bad stuff happening, and I feel like you don't deserve it, basically. and sometimes it can feel a little bit unbearable, and you definitely feel like you don't deserve it. I felt like I didn't deserve some of the things I was going through. Like, I'm doing stuff good, I'm not out here doing bad things, I'm trying to do my best, and feel like I'm like losing everything that I'm attaining and achieving. I feel like I'm losing it, and I feel like things are getting better. Like, and once things do get better, I feel like I'm losing it. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep on working. You know, many things might get in my way, but I'm just gonna keep on working, keep on doing my work. I'm praying about the situation where I work at, you know, if God wants me to do anything about it, but I'll just mind my business and keep on doing my work, keep on promoting myself, keep on doing my YouTube videos, and just working on being better. And you know, I know God will do a thing for me, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, I need to be rich or something like that. I know God will take care of me. So that's basically what I've been going through, and some of the things that I've been going through that's been on my mind, and that's a bit of a life update. I try to get this video up to you guys. I do plan on doing some help videos, like with the iPhone, and I don't know if I'm going to do any more Chromebook tutorials, but I'm going to try to do more help videos, because I love that I see that so many people are being helped, and that's getting me more views. And this is not what my channel is all about, but I do, you know, I'm getting good feedback on it, and I do like to help people. So I think I'm going to stick to help videos, car vlogs, fashion, and faith. So basically, lifestyle, car vlogs go hand in hand. Help videos and fashion. I'm going to stick to those things, because those are things that I'm passionate about, and those are things that people have been liking from me for the most part. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you stuck to the end of this video and listened to me, I thank you so much, because, you know, some things I need to get out of me. Like, it feels good to just release it, even though it's not a human being physically here with me while I'm saying it out loud. But even like talking through the camera, it helps. It really helps to get that out, and just, it feels good to have a community, and my community is starting to build up more. So I just thank you guys for tuning into this video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.